Alright, so good day everyone. Okay, so we are now going to proceed to the next topic. So we have developing materials for speaking skills. So in this lesson, we are going to tackle about the speaking skills, specifically the four speaking skills, and as well as the need for relevant materials when it comes to speaking skills. Okay, so let's begin first with the introduction. So we have here an introduction statement, and this is according to Rob Brown 2013. So please allow me to read. So it says here that if you can speak, you can influence. If you can influence, you can change life. So the thing that we can infer from this statement is that it underscores the incredible power of communication. Okay, so it suggests that if you are able to express yourself effectively, then you hold the ability to influence people, and that is the power of speaking skills, right? So it emphasizes the powerful connection between communication and change. It suggests that the ability to speak or express yourself allows you to influence others, shaping their thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Okay? So when you can effectively influence people, then you have the potential to inspire change in their lives, whether through motivation, guidance, or persuasion. Okay, so in essence, communication is not just about sharing information, but as well as it is also a tool for transformation and impacting the world around you. Okay, now let's proceed to the overview. So let's define first what is speaking. So I know speaking is very self-explanatory, but let's have first a brief definition of what is speaking. So as stated here, speaking is a mental process, no? This means that it is a psychological process by which a speaker puts a mental concept into some linguistic form, such as word, phrases, and sentences used to convey a message to a listener, and that is according to O grade 1996. Now, in this one, this means that speaking is a complex mental process that involves transforming our internal thoughts into a spoken language. No, it allows the speaker to convey messages through words, phrases, and even to sentences. No, the psychological mechanism begins with the formation of a mental concept where the speaker generates and organizes ideas they wish to communicate. And then, once the concept is established, once the concept is done, then the speaker encodes these thoughts into language by selecting appropriate vocabulary and grammatical structures, and that is simply speaking, right? Okay, so we have here another statement. No, it states here that speaking is a fundamental to human communication. So why do you think so? Why do you think speaking is essential or important when it comes to human communication? Okay, so to answer this question, speaking, it is right that speaking is a fundamental to human communication, meaning to say, it serves as one of the primary means through which individuals express their thoughts, share ideas, and connect with others. So this verbal form of communication allows for the immediate, diba, for the immediate exchange of information, emotions, and intentions, facilitating interpersonal relationships and social interactions. Okay? So through speaking, people can articulate complex concepts, engage in discussions, persuade others, and convey cultural nuances that enrich human interaction. Moreover, spoken language is dynamic and adaptable, meaning to say it allows speakers to adjust their tone, pace, and vocabulary based on context and audience. So this adaptability enhances our understanding and fosters meaningful connections. In essence, speaking is not just a skill but a vital component of human experience that underpins collaboration, learning, and community building. Okay, so speaking skills are not just crucial in communication but also play a significant role in both personal and professional success. Okay, so in academic settings, proficient speaking abilities enable students to, okay, so we have active participation in classroom discussions. Of course, when our students expose themselves and engage themselves in a very active environment inside our classroom settings, then they will be able to actively participate in our, for example, in our class in our class activities, no, when we have our questions towards them, then they will be able to actively participate, right? So next we have present their ideas coherently. Of course, when they speak about it, then they will be able to express themselves, no, meaningfully and effectively. In the next one, we have engage in collaborative learning activities. So these three, no, are just few of the significance or benefits of speaking skills towards our students. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, no, speaking skills are not just crucial in communication, right? But also plays a significant role in both personal and professional success. Now let's have the professional settings, okay? So one of the significance of the proficiency of our students when it comes to speaking skills is first one we have it fosters teamwork, meaning to say when our students engage themselves in a very very productive and proficient in speaking skills, then they will be able to foster and they will be able to have a teamwork towards other people. Okay, and then second one we have facilitates problem solving. Okay, so in this one naman they will be able to fix complex situations and then enhances productivity. So as I mentioned as well earlier, no, these three are just few. Okay, these three are just few of the significance or benefits of teaching speaking skills to our students. Okay. Okay, so we have here the four speaking skills. So we have the fluency, the vocabulary, the grammar, and the pronunciation. So I know these four are very much self-explanatory na. However, let's just have a brief definition of these four na, diba? Okay, so first we have the fluency. No, when we talk about fluency, these are our ability to speak smoothly and effortlessly, and of course at a natural pace without unnecessary pause or hesitation. Right, and then in vocabulary naman, of course, these are the range of words that you know and can use appropriately while speaking. And then next we have the grammar. So these are the set of rules that govern sentence structures, word order, and tense usage in the language. And then last one we have the pronunciation. Now these are the way words are articulated, including the sounds of individual letters, syllables, and intonation. So these four speaking skills are more likely non-negotiable, meaning when we learn language, we have to make sure we know the grammar, we know the vocabulary, we know the pronunciation, and as well as the fluency. So meaning, when you are proficient in speaking, it is also expected that you are also proficient when it comes to fluency, vocabulary, into grammar and pronunciation. Okay? Okay, now let's proceed to the speaking skills and the need for relevant materials. Alright, so let's proceed. So one way to understand the notion of speaking skills as suggested by Baygate 1987, page 5 to 6, is viewing them in two basic aspects. So we have the motor-receptive skills and the interaction skills. Now, for us to be able to easily understand what is motor-receptive skills, let's have defined first. Okay, so motor-receptive skills, as stated here, allow me to read. This involves the mastering of sounds and structures, not necessarily in any particular context. Okay, so the way the time that we are trying to learn the sound of English language, no, we are actually mastering the motor-receptive skills. Okay, so we have drills, we read words, we pronounce words, no? Then we correct our mistakes whenever we pronounce the words incorrect, no? That is actually a part of mastering the motor-receptive skills. Okay, so meaning to say, the motor-receptive skills involves the technical aspects of language production, including our mastery of sounds, pronunciation, vocabulary, and as well as the grammatical structures. Okay, so these skills are essential for effective communication as they enable individuals to articulate their thoughts clearly and accurately. Like for instance, no, for example, if a learner struggles with pronunciation or vocabulary, of course it can lead to misunderstanding in communication, right? So thus, no, motor-receptive skill serves as the foundational building blocks necessary for successful speaking. Okay, so let's proceed. We have the second one, we have the interaction skills. So interaction skills naman, on the other hand, this means involves making decisions about what and how to say things in specific communicative situations to convey the right intentions or maintain relationship. Now, in interaction skills naman, this one focuses on the ability to engage in a meaningful conversations and navigate social interactions effectively. Okay, so these skills encompass making decisions about what to say, how to say it in a specific communicative situations. Okay, so these interaction skills are crucial for maintaining relationships and ensuring that communication is effective and respectful. Okay, like for example, knowing how to respond appropriately in a certain conversation, no, knowing how to respond, knowing how to deliver, or knowing how to feedback, diba, how to react to appropriately in a certain conversation is actually part of in our interaction skills, diba? So or even expressing our agreement or disagreement can of course significantly impact our interpersonal dynamics. Okay, so that is actually a part of mastering the interaction skills. So these two basic aspects is one of the things that we have to consider when we are understanding the notion of the speaking skills. Okay, so moving forward, so as it's stated here, allow me to read. So arguably, speaking skills are best developed when learners learn to eventually take control of their own performance from an insider perspective rather than being constantly dictated by external manipulation. Okay, so when we talks about insider perspective, meaning to say, no, the learners view themselves as an active participants in their learning journey rather than as mere subjects of instruction. It is more likely they are having a self-awareness or self-evaluation towards themselves. It's like they know how to respond, they self-evaluate how to deliver their messages, how they will be able to interact towards other people appropriately. No, they have this one self-awareness for them to be able to have a successful communication and respectful communication towards other people. Okay, so this perspective encourages them to reflect on their experiences, identify their strengths and weaknesses, and set personal goals for improvement. No, because if the learners have the sense of ownership, and of course they can take control of it, and they will be able to have a very good sense of communication, right? So probably they can communicate with others, and they have the external manipulation on the conversation that they are holding or that they are having. Like they know how to do it, they know when to, they know what to say, or simply they know how to handle a conversation. Okay. Okay, so moving forward, according to the syllables, when materials are scripted by a writer, they appear in the form of pre-designed plan rather than the final production and are open to reinterpretation by the users of that plan, for example, the teachers and the learners. So meaning to say, whoever is the user may have a different interpretation, and for sure, diba, of course, may have a different implementation of that certain syllables because he has to localize it, diba? So it is through such interaction the pre-designed sketches can be best processed and earned conditions to develop into appropriate materials that promote language learning. So it's true, no, that we do have the pre-designed exemplars or sketches, curriculum guides, for example, in depth ed, and we have the pre-designed. No, so it will be reached to the hands of the teachers. But what we are going to do as a teachers, no, is to make sure to ensure, no, to guarantee that it's open for reinterpretation and implementation in order for us to really address the needs of the learners. Okay. So in other words, task implementation in the classroom actually serves as a practical tool for relevant materials to be jointly created. No, so you get something out from this and something out from the other, and you graph it. No, you localize it, you personalize it, and then the teachers will do it together with the learner so that it will be relevant to the needs of the student, or it will be aligned to the needs of the students. Okay. Okay, moving forward for the last slide. Okay, I think we are in the last slide na. So, if materials are constructed for speaking skills, the interactive process by the designer and the user should take place through speaking, since it would be unrealistic for participants to simply sit there and silently imagine how talk might work from a written script, no? Of course, when designing materials for speaking skills, whether for language learning, professional communication, or public speaking, no, it is essential, no, or it plays a vital role that the design process reflects the real life dynamics of verbal communication, or reflects no real life situation when it comes to verbal communication. So speaking is inherently interactive. Okay, so we need to remember that speaking is inherently interactive, meaning it involves not only the production of speech but also the reception, interpretation, and response of others. Therefore, the materials or exercises should facilitate a similar interactive environment, diba? So it should be the same thing applies also to another thing, right? So learners, or for our learners to develop effective speaking skills, so meaning they must be placed in a context where they can actively use their voice, no, engage in real-time communication and receive immediate feedback, um not just to simply sit there, no, and silently imagine how talk might work, or how is really the speaking work, 'di ba, in a real life situation. Okay? Okay, so I think we have to end this presentation now because that's all for my report. So I hope you have gained something from my presentation. That's all. Thank you for listening.